friends, welcome back to another video in the series 30 Reviews in 30 Days. Today we are reviewing the novel Open Water by Caleb Azumah Nelson. This is his debut novel, and this author is of British Ghanaian heritage. He is a writer and a photographer, and his interests are mirrored in this novel. This is a second person narrative, which is usually a little strange to read, but this is a second person narrative where the you that we're following is a young black man of Ghanaian descent, just like the author. And following his interests, the photography and the art and the philosophy and the religion and the interpersonal relationships that define his life, and his entanglements, what starts as a friendship and then develops as a work partnership and a romantic entanglement with a young woman that he meets, another black young woman. Her ethnicity is not necessarily traced here, but it is interesting as we go through this man's perspective from the second person view. So we are seeing the ways that other people define him as a scholarship recipient, some kind of affirmative action beneficiary, but also the ways that he rejects those personas. So like I said, we look at how other people define him as being the token black person, but also the way the police see him as a person of interest whenever something criminal has gone down, the way that maybe a woman might see him as the object of her desire. But how he rejects those things and how he defines himself, how he sees himself through the lens of a photographer, how he would describe the world through visual imagery, but also how he uses words to describe what he sees, through the eyes of someone who is gifted with the talent for visual representation. So a lot of this book is a play on words. It is kind of whimsical, but also really profound as we go through the lens of visual and visual art, visual medium, but also how we use language to express ourselves, and also the limitations of language. What are some of the things that we feel but can't express through words? So the young woman that is the object of his affection, she's a dancer while he is a photographer, and they have this partnership where they are seeing things, seeing concepts, seeing ideas, seeing things about their world that they want to represent, and they're both using their gifts to work out how to express that to the rest of the world. And so we see the partnership that evolves between them, the limitations that they put on themselves, because when they meet this young woman, she's dating this man's friend, and so they pursue this friendship to the bounds. They will not allow themselves to get romantically entangled, but you can see them falling in love, and the description is of them falling in love where limitations have been put on their relationship. So it's really beautiful the way the author describes this thing that is happening and using the you, so it feels like it is personal to the reader. But there's also creating some distance because we are not necessarily getting that first person look. So I really enjoyed this book. There's a phrase that is repeated in this a lot. It is a fever dream, and you know, that idea that you're going through something really intense but you're not sure whether it's real or not, and so you can use that to kind of describe what is happening in this book. There's a lot of murky descriptions that are also really vivid. He talks about the black experience a lot, but he's not talking about the black experience to limit it to the violence that is perpetrated on the black body. He's also talking about the beautiful culture that is inherent in the black experience. Because his family is Ghanaian, he mentions some of that African influence, but he's also talking about the diaspora of the black culture in the Western world, in England and in the United States, and the cross culture that exists there. So he wants to include the African diaspora as it is present and rich in the United Kingdom. And so he mentions the writings of Kai Miller. He mentions the books and the writings of Zadie Smith. Like there's a scene where he goes to get his much read, well-loved copy of NW by Zadie Smith. When he goes to get it signed by the author, he mentions music by Kendrick and Curtis Mayfield, and there are so many black artists that he mentions in his writings, because he wants to show the richness, the wealth of the black experience, not limited, but also really heavily influenced by the African roots. And so this book is a walk through art, through photography, through visual representation, but also through literature and the expression of life as it is seen by someone who is young and in love and just filled with the philosophy that is possible, and loving it, but also hating some of the things that are perpetrated against him. So I really, really enjoyed this. I'd recommend it to you if you like writing that details a visual medium, writing that kind of is like a photograph, but can transcend the limitations of photography, because you can also express it using words to someone else. So recommend Open Water by Caleb Azumah Nelson if you're looking for a book for the British Black History Month that's coming up, or if you're just looking for a slim volume to read and enjoy. This one is only about 160 pages or so. So Open Water is the book for today. I hope you'll pick it up. I hope if you are going to read it because you have heard me say something about it in this video, let me know about it in the comments down below. If you've read it already, would love to chat with you as well, and give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more. We'll be back tomorrow for another video in the series 30 Reviews in 30 Days. Let's chat in the comments, and until next time, happy reading. Bye.